Cop probed for trying to stop bust of alleged drug dealer, her boyfriend, sources.
A hardbody Bronx cop is under investigation after she tried to stop narcotics detectives from busting her alleged major drug dealer boyfriend, police sources told the Post. Bronx robbery squad officer Alisa Bajraktarevic, 33, caused such a commotion during a car stop on Saturday that cops had to call for backup, sources said. She was moved to desk duty and had her guns taken away the same day on suspicion she was dating the alleged dealer, the sources said. There are few details on the chemical romance, but sources said the couple met at a gym and that the cop, who lived in Yonkers, was warned before to stay away from him. Narcotics had been watching him, a police source said. One day they pulled him over. They didn't know who she was until she stepped up and said who she was. She jumped out and got involved, a second police source said. She definitely gave them a hard time. They called in for backup. He's a really bad guy and known to the department, the source said. Police were planning to search the car and possibly bust the alleged drug dealer, the source added, describing him as a major player. They ended up letting him go, but they dropped a log on her, the first source said, referring to filing an Internal Affairs Bureau complaint. The IAB then launched a probe. It's a dumb thing to do, the first source said. They tell you from day one you shouldn't be consorting with known criminals. This person eventually is going to use you as a get-out-of-jail card, which is what he did. The department was being tight-lipped about the case and the sources were unable to provide the drug dealer's name or criminal record. Bajraktarevic denied that her boyfriend is a drug dealer and that cops were about to bust him. She said the car was parked when cops pulled up to investigate but wouldn't explain what happened. There's certain things I'm not allowed to speak on as per the department, she said. But the alleged drug dealer? That's not under investigation. He's not a drug dealer. The phone call was cut off and she did not return the reporter's call back. Bajraktarevic closed her front door in the face of another reporter who tried to talk to her in Yonkers. The NIPD would only comment that her status is modified. Bajraktarevic, who has been with the NIPD for 11 years, joined the Bronx robbery squad in June and previously worked in the Bronx's 48th precinct, which tweeted out a photo of her and other officers in 2017 after they took a gun off the street. The NIPD paid her a total salary and overtime of $115,250 in 2022, payroll records show. The robbery squad is staffed by detectives who investigate cases that include pattern robberies in the borough and citywide, and home invasions. It wasn't clear which role Bajraktarevic served in the unit. Her social media posts on Instagram and Reddit show the officer lying in the sun under palm trees in Cancun, Mexico. One post shows her standing on a treadmill at Extreme Fitness in Mount Vernon. Another one shows her shooting a picture with her phone of her backside, captioned, "Thick police officer." A third shows her posing in front of a full-length mirror. Just cause I don't walk around half-naked doesn't mean my body isn't changing. One photo shows her wearing a large gold ring that reads Kells. The cop was warned about a year ago not to associate with the alleged dealer after she tried to intervene when police went to his home in northern Manhattan, the sources said. Not only did she ignore the directive, she had the audacity to bring him to a police function, the sources said. She picked bad over good, said a longtime police officer, who spoke on condition of anonymity. It's very disappointing. She could have had the pick of the litter and she picked the perp. A cop who associates with a known criminal could be punished administratively, with a transfer or lost vacation time, or criminally charged and sentenced to prison if it's determined they broke the law, police sources said. The policy is in place because you want police officers to be somewhat incorruptible, said John Jay College of Criminal Justice professor Joseph Giacalone, a former NIPD sergeant. She could have knowledge of potential search warrants that might be happening, said Giacalone. If you have a police officer that's on the inside, they can wreak a whole lot of havoc. For investigations. They also have information that could set two different drug gangs against each other. You can set up robberies. You can set up burglaries. You can do all that with inside information. In November 2020, A NIPD officer was arrested for helping multinational drug runners import and distribute cocaine. Amoria Brew, 34, assigned to the 113th Precinct in Queens, was arrested on charges that he was helping drug traffickers, officials said. From January 2016 to October 2020, Abreu and his co-defendants Julio Bautista, 35, and Gustavo Valerio, 38, high-ranking members of the unidentified drug trafficking organization, allegedly managed the distribution of cocaine in New York. The 9-year veteran of the force allegedly used his position to provide information about law enforcement procedures, performing warrant checks on his co-conspirators using the NIPD arrest database, and on at least one occasion, distributing cocaine, authorities said. His case is still making its way through the system. His lawyer filed a request last week for him to travel to Puerto Rico to visit family.